Hey guys, Jack here. Um, Update for the studio. I have two funny stories, one of which I'm going to state right now. I've been trying to do an update on the studio room, but each day after I record it, I come up with a new idea for the studio and I throw out the video. So this is T minus, we'll say, T minus 20 hours. I will be starting on the room in tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow afternoon evening is mainly going to be scrubbing the walls, letting the walls dry, and masking stuff off. Yes, I can't believe this roll cost me $8, but that's besides the point. Okay, so I went to Home Depot today. Spent a little bit more money than I expected, but I feel confident and pleased with the decisions I made. Now, of course, I don't have it up here. I got the rollers and the brushes, the pan, all liner for that. I got 3 stir sticks. Those are 6 stir sticks too. They're rollers to boot. Oh wow, I never noticed that. But anyway, got the obligatory blue. I went with the wider one, so it's going to be a quicker masking on. Tarp for drop cloth. This cost me $3, and it'll cover my entire room, and then some. It's 9 by 12. My room's 7.5 by 12, so good couple bucks. It'll actually work because there's a little bit of an indent walkway. But that's beside so I got a gallon of charcoal. Yeah, graphite charcoal. Graphic charcoal. Sorry, I keep saying graphite. It's graphic. Um, so I really like the bear. I love the can. Or should I say, I love the plastic container. It goes with a freaking pour spout. I love it. That's freaking brilliant. I put it in this way to screw the cap off, and I put it in this way and click it in and turn around the pour spout. That's genius. But this is the width primer. So here's the story. Here's the second funny story. I have never personally went to buy house paint. I bought spray paint where you just go up, buy a spray can. Here's the color you want, here's the color you need. Now, I know in the past there was, if you bought the standard colors, you just went in and bought the standard colors. You know, your white, your black, your red, whatever. No, I didn't realize that nowadays you walk in, you turn around and go, I want such and such color. They'll go get the base coat that it needs and turn around and mix it themselves. So I got all this stuff plus a couple other things. Sitting in the car, and I asked the gentleman who works there, I'm like, sir, I said, can I ask you a question? I said, I'm honestly new at this. I said, this is the first time I'm ever buying house paint. He's like, okay. I said, I got my drop cloth, I got my masking tape, I got painter's tape, I got the rollers, all the equipment and everything I need. He's like, okay. I go, now, I am looking for a certain color of gray. He's like, yeah. I said, it tells me it's in this aisle. He grins. He's like, which base did you get? I go, I got this base. He's like, okay, so you're looking for a medium dark to a dark. I'm like, yes, exactly. He's like, what color? I'm like, well, I said, he was going to take me over to the chip wall, which has all the colors on it. I'm like, I got it right here on my phone. This is how I found out where I say it confused me, and that's why I'm asking. He's like, well, what's the color? I show him on phone. He's like, oh, graphic gray. He's like, okay, yeah, that's no problem. That's a nice color. Um, he's like, actually, what you usually do is you come to the counter with the chip, the code chip that you want, and we go get the mix it ourselves for you. I'm like, oh. I said, so did I get the right base? He's like, oh yeah, you got the right base. He's like, so you want the gray? I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, you go. Well, seeing you turn around and saved us about 3 minutes. He's like, give me about 5 to mix it. I'm like, well, tell you what, I'll be back. I said, I gotta go correct an error I made on something else I'm going to purchase. It's like, okay. So, noob. But the other thing that I bought was new electrical. Got a nice little light switch, black. Got one of those. Got 3 of these. And I'll explain something special about this in a minute. And then I bought 4 of these. This was the cheapest thing, 69 cents. But what I love is I turned around and bought, it's the Leviton Decora line. So that's where the switch, the plate, and the outlets come from. Now, what I really love is, now I'm going to show this to you backwards. So this is actually, this part here is actually the outside. I'm going to show this is the outside because the screws won't let me push the whole way through. So, light switch. Pink. Perfect. Outlet. Pink. Perfect. I went with this design because it used the same of these. Now, I'm going to get back to this in a second. These I actually bought. These are Leviton Plus. There's a little plus up there. It's a little hard to see. But it's 3/8 inch larger. That way it covers up any imperfections in the drywall or the paint. So let me put the switch back real quick. I don't want to lose them. And once again, this is the Leviton Decora line. Now, I paid a little bit of a premium on this. I could have got a 10-pack of friggin' white ones for the price I paid for all this. But I didn't need 10 switches. I may consider doing that later on after I'm done with these and I get things rearranged. I'm considering doing the entire apartment because of these outlets. Now, the standard outlet is like $240. But if you look, there's gray in there. The 2 slits, there's gray. They're child safety. I paid a little bit of extra premium on top of the premium to get safe outlets. Now, I'm not saying I have any kids. I don't have any kids. But I have a nephew that if he decides to bring him and his family up, he has a newborn. Let's say hypothetically he wants to come up and visit. And the newborn becomes crawling age and starts like pulling stuff and whatnot and starts playing with stuff. I don't have to worry about them putting their fingers in this or even putting a sharp object in it because the show, let's say this is a sharp object, the kid's going to be stupid, unintelligent enough to turn around put in an outlet. It will not go in. Will not go in. Now that I scratched this one up, because I've done this demonstration about 2 or 3 times. Now when you put an outlet in, if it turn or a plug-in, if it feels the pressure of both prongs at the same time, that slides away somehow. I don't know if it slides up, slides to the side. I don't know what it does. Uh, but it'll when it's only one prong being pushed in, it will not open. So I did that to future proof. I figured it was fair, seeing I'm doing a little bit of work for the landlord technically, that I upgrade the outlets with more child safety in mind. I think it'll like that. But yeah, so that all that cost me a little bit extra. Now, excuse me one sec. Ah, as funny as is, you just saw the color of the carpet on one. It's about that color, about that shade of blue. There we go. The dark blue. So I think that would go really good with the dark gray. Um, I have to stop and pick that up tomorrow. Um, so needless to say, like I said, within 20 hours, I'm starting this room. And then by 48 hours after that, I should be finished. Now the paint says 1 hour drying time, 2 hours to put a second coat on. I'm going from a light blue. I'm going from a blue that's about this shade. Matter of fact, it is this shade, to a gray. It's going to cover it fine the first time. And then once it's painted, I'll put down the electrical components in. I might have to make another run to Depot because I didn't get it now because I didn't know if it was an outlet in this bedroom or the master bedroom, that it doesn't stay in the wall right. It's like the top thread or the top screw doesn't attach to anything, it just strips out. If that's the case, then I'll turn around and see about getting a new gang box for it, and put something a little bit better in there. Because they make the boxes now that after you already had a drywall, you can turn around, put it in, and it'll screw and attach to the drywall itself or to the side stud. I figured if I could find one of those shallow enough, if I need a shallow one, I'll turn around and do that. But if I need it for this room, I'll run out and get it. But there's been a couple changes in the furniture setup idea. The workbench is not going in. It's just depth-wise doesn't match. And color-wise, it just doesn't match the aesthetic. Only if I got black tape or a black tabletop or a gray tabletop and a black pegboard. That's really the only way. So I'm going to look later this evening while I'm winding down to go to bed. See, I know I've seen it. I think it was on Amazon. I don't know if it's the same company, but there is a straight computer desk like the one I have. And if I find that and it's 6 foot long, then it's going to get added instead of the workbench, even if it's 4 foot. But this side that I'm looking at right now will be up against the wall. It'll be over here. Hold the camera. It'll be this rack, basically where it's at, except slid this way a little bit. And then this racking here is going to go lengthwise next to this. I already have a shelf. So it's like shelf, shelf, and then another shelf. That angled shelf, I just have to buy feet for it, which is no problem. I can go Menards or anywhere to pick them up. And that's going to go over here in the corner. Because I was going to put all the electronics, the router, the server, the consoles in that closet area, I figured after I thought about it, I'm like, it's too air restrictive in there. If anything, I'm going to turn on and put it on that route, that shoulder. And for closet, I came up with the idea, instead of having it where I'm facing this monitor to my left here and having shots of the length of the room and having a display put up, I'm going to put the display in the closet. Why not? That's what the closet's for, right? You put your stuff in. But then you might be going, well, is that going to interfere with your green screen? No. Because this is actually saving me money in a way, because that means I won't be buying another Wally. Wally is actually going to get mounted. I'm going to have my 32-inch and my old 24-inch above this. Wally's going to be sneaking right in between them, filming me. Now, when I do vlog with a nice wide angle, yes, I will have the wide angle set up then. I got it on the narrow angle right now. With the wide angle, you'll be able to see stuff behind me. When I go play the games, if I do face cam in it, just reach back, draw the curtain. Because that's all my green screen's going to be, is fabric. That's all it is. So I'm going to use it as a curtain. I wonder if I can find a lime green shower curtain. Put curtain rod up. So yeah, then I'll put collectibles and stuff. I might still put a shelf down at the other end for collectibles too. But I figured this side here is going to be all business. That's what this end's going to be. It's all business. So that means I'm not buying a second set of studio monitor speakers right now. This end will have the headphones, so I can turn on and listen to this stuff. And, while me gaming, I'm going to have the headphones too. But this is going to have the crappy little speakers I have here hooked up to it on this side. This side's going to have these speakers and everything else. And then this monitor here, which I can do portrait flipping rather easily, is going to go on the mount that's here. And that will be for like chat stuff. Now my other 24-inch monitor that I'm going to have above this one, seeing it's not a shelf, I got to turn on and get an extended mount for it. That's going to have what I'm looking at right now, which is OBS, up above my gaming monitor. That way I can see everything that's going on. If I have to do an emergency thing because the Stream Deck went down, I can turn on and go, oh, I got to do this real quick. So yeah, that's what's going to happen with that. But like I said, next 20 hours, I get the rest up, and then I start cleaning. Then I'm going to do a video walkthrough. Then I'm going to turn on paint the wall, or get everything masked off, and do the paint the next day. Do a walkthrough. Do the outlets before I move anything in. Then bring the stuff in, even if it's not all hooked up. Do another walkthrough, because I downloaded CapCut. I've been seeing more and more people use it for Instagram, Facebook, YouTube Shorts, TikTok. Saying I'm going to be stitching 3 small videos together. I figured that would work. Now I want to see what the power of CapCut is. It looks pretty decent, and there's a lot of plugins, and it's free. That's what counts for me. If it puts a watermark in the bottom corner, I don't care. So yeah, that's the update on the studio. All I know is when I go to bed Sunday night after starting the laundry, I'm gonna feel a little lonely out here because there's just gonna be a TV and a couch. But anyway, this has been Will Jack. I shall leave you guys go. Have a good night. And we'll go with updates and see what happens. So, catch you later.